tayo sa political podcast. Yung ganun lang naman yung levels natin. But, sorry lang. No, but you get what I'm saying, mga kameta. No? So, I see I see some good signs here. I see some green shoots here. Kung saan medyo may marami sa atin, mga kababayan na may sense of critical thinking, may sense of, we want politics based on evidence, we want politics based on sanity, on reasonableness, on rationality, based on human rights, no? Lumalakas na online ngayon. At kitang-kita ko yan sa YouTube, sa social media, lumalaban na. But of course, hindi pwede hanggang dyan lang. So, hindi pwede hanggang popcorn lang, number one. Hindi lang pwede hanggang lumalaban lang sa social media. O, at of course, good naman na medyo patas na yung laban ngayon. Para yung mga kababayan natin, meron silang options na it's not about them either having cable news channel connection or going to YouTube for free and watching some trashy people talking about how Tata is the best president in the solar system. No, hindi na siya ganun. No? So ngayon, pwede libre, punta ka YouTube, manood ka ng yung mga katulad natin, di ba? And malalaman mo mga kapalpakan ng mga populist, strongman, etc. And at the same time, magkakaroon ka rin ng critical thinking pagdating doon naman sa kakulangan ng ibang presidente, including mga liberals, reforms, progressive, etc. At pwede rin natin pag-usapan ano yung mga kailangan mangyari para mag-move forward yung ating democracy in the right direction. Hindi lang real change but real good change. May real change naman kay Tatay Digong except for the worst, diba? So we want real good change. Now, speaking of real good change, kailangan din na magkakaroon ng leveling dun sa actual state institutions, especially sa national level. Especially sa national level. And especially sa Senado. Mahalaga kasi mga Senado. So, katulad ng pinag-usapan natin kahapon, mga kameta, of course, pasensya na, medyo connection and all has not been so good. So, I'm just trying to alternate between different sites to get the best connection possible. Na, ito yung sinabi ko na yes, I understand kung may mga iba nagsasabi na perhaps 2025 is too early na sa daming talo ng opposition, real opposition, progressive liberal opposition, 2016, si Leni lang naman talaga yung stellar victory, 2019, wala. And then 2022, si Riza Intiveros lang nakapasok talaga from real opposition doon sa national level election. So, after three bruising defeats, some are thinking maybe it's time for really deep soul searching and perhaps realistically we have to look at 2028. Pero ang argument ko dito is baka hindi na darating yung 2028 elections in the sense that we're expecting it because 2025 pa lang pwede ma-determine yung future ng ating political system should the pro-Marcos camp push ahead with constitutional change altogether. That's a very, very big possibility na kung sobrang big time yung panalo ng pro-BBM camp and may genuine concern sila na pwedeng manalo mga Duterte in 2028 pagdating sa presidency, then baka ipipreempt na nila yan and they'll push for constitutional change as early as 2025 right after elections and they may have enough number to do that. So that's exactly where kailangan mo ng may opposition. You need people from the opposition to be there in the room to have a say and to have a seat at the table. Mahalaga yun. To have a seat at the table is very, very important for the opposition because otherwise they could be completely boxed out. Not only from the drama of Duterte versus Marcos and the conflagration of the unity team, but potentially magkakaroon ng boxing out of the political landscape for the foreseeable future if magkakaroon ng constitutional change. And in the process of taking out the Dutertes or preventing them from coming back 2028, baka completely ma-engineer isang bagong saligang batas, isang new constitutional order kung saan there's really limited space for real progressive liberal opposition. Now, speaking of all of this, in fairness naman may mga green shoots. So, kahapon, pinag-usapan natin yung Okta survey. And before that, of course, pinag-usapan din natin yung Publicos Asia survey. You also had snippets of yung interview natin sa CNN Philippines the other day. So, pag tinignan yung mga survey na yan, quote-unquote surveys na yan, you're gonna be a little bit concerned because parang si Leni lang parang may chance doon at even Leni is not within even the striking distance doon sa mga surveys na kita natin. And then si Tatay Digong daw ang number one doon sa isang survey na very credible, di ba? But eto, from the copy that we saw from Pulse Asia, at gusto ko i-share sa inyo yan kasi pinag-usapan namin I think first it was in fairness, Ronald Diamas who mentioned it and he said it gives you some room for optimism and then ngayon it's also circulating online. kasi commission yata survey to, so hindi siya for public. Ito So, ito mga kameta, no? Kung titignan nyo dito, right? Kung titignan nyo dito, alright, ipopost. So, obviously, again, number one si Erwin Tulfo. Sabi ko, yun yung consistent na pattern na nakita natin sa lahat ng surveys. Isa pa naman Tulfo ang in the lead. And then you have, usual suspects like, yung mga artista, celebrity, politicos like Tito Soto. Hindi ito Tito Boy Soto. Vicente, Tito Soto. And then, of course, you have the other versions, the younger version of that, like Isko Moreno. Nasa top 4, top 5 na rin. And then you have yung mga Digong team, Team Digong, no? Bongo, De La Rosa, Bato, Aimee, yung mga ganyan tipo. Then you have, of course, again, other kind of celebrities like Pacquiao. But this is where things get interesting. In fairness, si Willie Ong mukhang mataas ng chance niya na baka makapasok na siya sa etong election cycle na to because he did pretty decent in the former Senate races. He didn't do as well sa vice presidential race. Mahabang usapan niya. We can get into that. Madrama din yan. But it looks like Willie Ong may finally have the chance to get in the Senate should he run for 2025. Mukhang medyo may pagka-Rizal Ontiveros yata. Baka mga third time lucky siya, di ba? Although previously, of course, he ran for vice presidency. But this is where things get interesting. Pasok dun sa circle, sa Magic 12, potential Magic 12, si Bam Aquino, si Kiko Pangilinan, and in fact, the two rank even higher than Leni Robredo. But all of them are within the range of 10 to 21 or 11 to 27. So theoretically, pasok silang tatlo. Or may good chance sila na makapasok sa top 12 if ever they run for office. And then medyo hirap si Francis Tolentino. And then si Gibo Chodor is kind of there gnawing at the edges. And then andun din si Richard Gordon, Mar Rojas, Trillanes, Hunasan, and then the rest. No? So, if you look at it, exactly katulad ng sinabi natin dun sa previous vlog, it looks like at least there are three opposition, real opposition. Many politicians in our political system. People are honest. People who are incorruptible. I think both Corazon Aquino and Pinoy. Anyone who has a reasonable, state of mind would know that that's the case. Uh, and in fairness, I think as far as intention is also concerned, both Pino and Corazon Aquino had very good intentions. Now, we can talk about dun sa mga kakulangan nila. We had separate vlogs on that, on things that Corazon Aquino did not do when she could have pushed for more radical transformative change under the Constitution. She could have pushed for debt cancellation, etc. Partial debt cancellation, odious debt cancellation. Marami din tayo sinabi about Mama Sapano crisis, handling of that, post-crisis management, about Hayan, Yolanda, even about the economy in the West Philippine Sea. I had some reservations with the Aquino administration. But having said all of those things, I think Ninoy Aquino, the sacrifice he made for the Philippines, the good intentions and the kind of clean governance that the both Corazon Aquino and Pinoy represented, despite all of their shortcomings, many, many shortcomings, in terms of bringing about social justice and inclusive development, I think you need someone from the Aquino clan to come out and fight for that name. And perhaps the best person to do that is Bam Aquino. Is the fourth, right? Benigno Aquino the fourth or something like that. I think he's the right guy. Very smart person. Um, Again, I had some concerns about the campaign of Leni last year, but from some very good friends of mine who know Bam Aquino very, very well. I never had the privilege of meeting him or exchange notes with him, but from some people who actually meet him, have met him, talk to him, they always tell me he's actually the very smart, reasonable guy. And yes, he was the campaign manager of Leni and all, but actually he was always the one who was thinking ahead and thinking outside the box. But for some reason, of course, hindi parating umubra yung kanyang, let's say, more ahead of time or outside the box thinking or approach because there were other people to take in consideration. I don't know, siguro ito yung mga hardcore dilawan, whatever. We can talk about that. Now, going back to this, so I think having someone as young and as successful and as smart as Bam Aquino and someone with that name coming back to the Senate would be something very, very important. And I think the Aquino name has to be done justice to. Now, I think there was a lot of, how should I put it? I mean, overvalorization of Aquinos. Like parang, alam mo na, di ba? I don't wanna go down that. You know what I'm talking about, right? Na parang perfect sila and all of that. Which was not true, obviously. But at the same time, I think there was an overcorrection of that. Yung pambabastos, all the fake news, disinformation, all of the horrible things said about Ninoy and the Kinos and all of that. So you need to balance that. You need to correct that. You need to provide a proper you have to carry forward yung legacy. Lumaban ng opposition, yung totoong opposition for a position. Term limited. Okay, anyway, mukhang malabo, di ba? Anyway, so parang Risa na lang. And so if the pro BBM camp, right? I know, yung marami sa inyo galit na galit sa mga Dutertes, parang you rather have the BBM camp win. But if the BBM camp completely dominates the 2025 elections, right? And then they go for a constitutional change, and then si Riza lang nandun na single opposition, good luck na lang, di ba? Good luck na lang. So hindi lang mabobox out ang totoong opposition dyan, baka mabobox out din yung mga more progressive principles and values that you want to see in our constitution. So yun po yung konteksto ating conversation today. Anyway, again, sorry, the internet is horrible, na disconnect na naman ako dito sa kabila. Nakaka-distract kasi yan kasi you're building momentum, you're trying to say something nice and then the internet cuts out. But anyway, all I'm saying here is that it's not gonna be easy. Maraming mga obstacles, malakas ang kalaban, maraming re-election is. I think, agree ako kay Ronald na potentially ito yung pinakamahirap na Senate race in recent memory. Ang daming malalakas na re-election is. On the surface, it looks like labanan ito ng essentially pro-Digong camp and then the more Marcos-leaning or totally pro-Marcos camp. Parang ganun ang labanan. But as I said, there are at least 3 people from the real opposition who have a pretty good chance of making it to Magic 12. And I won't be surprised. Let's say Leni doesn't run, but Kiko runs, Bama Kino runs, and then siguro Leni could rally behind another candidate like Chel Joknong, I don't know, Maro Haas, or someone with liberal or progressive credentials. I don't know, Ralph Recto, someone like that, or Frank Rilon. And so they need to get at least 2 or 3 people in para hindi lang nag-iisa si Riza. Right? At hindi ma-totally box out ang opposition. And then siguro Leni can run for governor or she can run for congressman or mayor dun sa kailang bailiwick. And then she can become also a rallying cry at the LGU level, at the executive level for the real opposition. Yun lang sinasabi natin. Alright? Thank you very much mga kameta. So, actually things are not as hopeless as people think they are. And at the same time also, wag naman kayo masyadong dismissive sa lahat ng surveys. In fact, Pulse Asia is the most hopeful survey as far as chances of the opposition is concerned. Kung kinumpara mo yun dun sa mga less established ones na pinag-usapan natin in previous vlogs. The Pulse Asia one is the most hopeful one. And I don't have many reasons to doubt this one. I think this is a legit one, this copy that we saw. And I'll post it down there for you guys to see it on your own. And again, all I'm saying here is that it's a fight that is not only worth fighting, it should be fought because there's a very big chance that there'll be push for constitutional change after 2025 for 2 reasons. A, because the pro BBM camp may do really quite well, so they may have the numbers, and B, because they may decide to make sure na hindi na makabalik ang mga Duterte. So they'll prevent a 2028 scenario whereby, last time I checked, still Sara Duterte is the front runner as far as presidential race is concerned. So, yeah, of course, I see Tulfo as a strong alternative. I'm not sure if Martin Romualdez can really, match Sara Duterte. Things could change, but, the pro-BBM camp may say now, why should we even take the risk, right? We can just change the constitution, go parliamentary, and if someone like, I don't know, Martin Romualdez, someone close to BBM can become the prime minister. And all you need for that is to have the biggest party, biggest number of votes, and boom, everything will be nice. So that's a very, very big possibility, right? I think more than 50% chance. So you need to have more than just Riza there in the Senate. That's what I'm saying. All right. And Leni, whether if she doesn't run, she can still be the leader of opposition in some sense if she's a major LGU official or a congresswoman or I mean, a congresswoman would be also nice, I think, for Leni. She could also be a major voice sa lower house also. Kind of a fiscalizer on that. All right. Thank you very much, mga kameta. Again, pasensya na dun sa mga nagkakaroon ng connection problem dito, especially sa Facebook at sa YouTube. Medyo maganda yung connection natin kasi ginagamit ko yung sabi kong 5G. Hindi naman siya mura, pero sige lang. Anyway, thank you very much, guys, and talk to you soon. Maraming salamat. And please continue to support us, watch us, subscribe. Subscribe to our channels. Libre lang naman. Subscribe, follow, subscribe din dito sa YouTube channel para maayos din natin itong verification natin. So, the 2 other platforms that I want to, hopefully we can verify soon are YouTube and also TikTok. Because I'm also thinking of going TikTok live. All right? Of course, yung sa burner phone natin. Alright. So, I need to verify those accounts, no? Para legit talaga tayo. So, we hope to verify itong account natin sa YouTube. So, we have to meet a certain threshold and hopefully also sa YouTube. Yung other naman, Instagram, I don't know, whatever, yung 3, 4 other platforms, they're all verified anyway. So, alam niyo na ako naman talaga yan. Legit naman talaga yan. Alright? Thank you very much. God bless and talk to you soon.